Today is about having the press here to tell them our story, to take them through the journey, to show them there is a different way of achieving what needs to be done.
Thank you for joining us so early this morning. My name's Phil Oakley. I'm responsible for Kornit's business for the UK and Ireland. Hope you're going to enjoy this morning. It's going to be pretty full-on, intense pace. That's Kornit, the Kornit way, right? So I'm going to introduce you to a few people, just give you a little bit of a rundown what's going to happen this morning. You're going to go through a keynote speech, question and answer, Q&A, a little bit of Q&A, but you're then going to be taken on a number of demonstration tours of the technology. I think after that second demonstration tour, there will be then chance to do Q&A and one-on-ones, okay? So without further ado, let me introduce you to our global CEO, Ronen Samuel.
All right, good morning. Great to be here, great to see you. Finally, we can meet face to face. First of all, welcome, warm welcome. I would like to start by thanking Fashion Enter and Jenny for hosting us, for partnering with us. Excellent partner. You will hear a lot about the company. You will hear a lot about Kornit and about the changes that we are together making in the fashion industry, in the textile industry, really revolutionizing this industry to a much, much better place. So what I'm going to take you through today is about our vision, where we're taking this industry, the changes that this industry needs to go through. And as you know, this industry is the second most polluted industry in the world after the oil. And can you imagine if we can change this industry, that there will not be waste, and people can really order what they want and get it exactly when they need it without the waste and the pollution that this industry is generating. Let's take a look at a short video on that.
Clothes. We all wear them. But do we really know the true cost of manufacturing them? Did you know, for every shirt printed, thousands of similar shirts are printed along with it in the same production batch, whether they're consumed or not? Moreover, mass production is also ineffective in today's world of individual self-expression, because it's not consumers who buy clothes, it's people. As an industry, we should be asking ourselves, is there a better way to make clothes? Can we create technologies that respect nature instead of disregarding it? Can self-expression and sustainability go hand in hand? And can we do all this without compromising on quality? At Kornit, we believe the answer to these questions is yes. We decided to change the second most polluting industry in the world and make it cleaner, healthier, and more personalized. We have developed new technologies that help save the planet's resources by printing textiles more sustainably. Technologies that put quality and efficiency before mass quantity and size. We support self-expression with smart production of personalized clothes. We've opened a door for brands and fulfillers to be part of this sustainable world and increase their profits at the same time.
The investment of Kornit is an excellent investment.
Less maintenance, less downtime on those machines.
Quicker cycle time.
Flexibility, adaptability, and profitability with a high definition print.
Without the Kornit DTG, we wouldn't be able to meet the needs of our customers.
There's no one really competes with Kornit.
We were blown away. The kind of capability, the quality, the durability was so top-notch.
We've started a revolution, and we're not looking back. It's no longer an option. And today, we're inviting you to join the sustainable, on-demand fashion tech transformation.
Yeah, now it's clear why we need to do this change, right? Just a bit more about statistics to understand what's going on in this world of fashion. 20% of the total consumption or pollution of water, industrial water, coming from this industry. And 10% of the global carbon emission is being generated in this industry. Now, even more than that, when we are talking about production, there is excess production, usually being produced in China, in Bangladesh, in India, shipping it 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles to the US, trying to sell the products. Actually, 30% of all production never been sold. It's overproduction. It creates huge amount of waste. And when you try to calculate what is the waste of material of this 30% of overproduction, the waste is 21 million tons of textile. Think about it. 21 million tons. Think about containers, that is usually a ton. How many 21 million containers? In terms of water, to produce a shirt like this, you consume something like 2,000 liters of water, or even more than that. If you calculate the amount of water we are throwing away out of this overproduction of 30%, is like 28 trillion liters of water. Now, 28 trillion liters of water, I don't know how to count the number of zeros. So let's try to understand what does it mean. It means like if you take the entire population of the US, in terms of drinking water, is like 72 years of drinking water for the entire population of US. This is how much this industry is throwing away every year on the waste that is being generated from production. Unbelievable, and it's not sustainable. We have to change it. On top of that, the supply chain doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit for the today needs. Supply chain is still like it was used to be 100 years ago. Production in China, in the low-cost countries, or in Bangladesh, and then shipping it. And we saw what happened in the COVID during the last 2 years. The supply chain is fully broken. The cost of shipment is like now 10 times more than what it used to be, and we don't see it changing. And brands understand that they need to change the game, both from the sustainability perspective, but also they want to be closer to the consumer. They want to react fast. They want to move production from offshore in China, in Bangladesh, to onshore, closer to the consumer, in Europe, in US, so they can react fast to the market trends. So let's talk a bit about the market trends. And the first thing that I would like to talk about, e-commerce. And as you know, e-commerce is booming, and it was booming even before the COVID, and COVID really accelerated it. And Gen Z is really purchasing mainly through the e-commerce. Actually, today, 30% of everything that's being purchased in the apparel market is in the e-commerce, and the forecast is by 2025, it will be 60%. So there's a huge move to the e-commerce. But if you look today on the e-commerce of today, it's really not, it's going to be a massive change in the way e-commerce is being used. Today, the e-commerce is really a reflection of the shops, of the retail. You have an omni-channel, you can go to a shop, you can buy what they have on the shop, and you can go to the e-commerce and buy it as well. But the e-commerce of tomorrow will allow you, because it's digital, to buy any type of products. You have no limitation. You don't need to carry the product. You need to have the digital file to show consumer and people can choose what they want, and then, of course, producing it, and we will talk about this trend. So e-commerce is becoming a main vehicle. Also, it's very convenient. You can really choose any product, compare prices, order it to your home, try it. You don't like it, you return it. Much easier than going to a shop. The second thing is, when you're talking about Gen Z, is self-expression. This generation would like to be unique. Everyone would like to express themselves, show their identities. They would like to buy products that fit themselves, that can express themselves. And today, when you're going to a retail shop and you're going to the shelf and you have black, white, gray, doesn't fit everyone. Many people would like to wear pink or green, and you don't have it, and different shape and different designs, and you have to change it, and if you want to meet the demands of this generation. Third thing is social media, and social media is all around us. And what is the main effect of the social media on the fashion industry? It's changing the entire rules of the games. Think about a few years back, how brands were promoting themselves. They were giving us writing in magazine, next year is going to be orange, and this is what you are going to wear, and everybody were waiting for it and going to the retail shop to buy what they told us a year in advance. Think about it, trying to focus what you are going to wear a year from now doesn't connect to the world today, right? And social media changed the entire equation. It's not anymore that brands telling us, it's actually the people are telling the brands what they want. And the brands need to react immediately and to produce immediately, otherwise they will lose the game. So it's a major shift in the way brands are working, or the entire industry is behaving. Last, and definitely not the least, and we started with it, and it's going to be much stronger, is sustainability. And we have to see what's going on around us in the world with the COVID, with the war. Sustainability is something we have to change. And this industry that we are all working in is the second most polluted, and there is a way to overcome it. And the way to overcome it is moving into a different way of production, a different way of supply chain. Is moving into on-demand production in a sustainable way. What does it mean, on-demand production? Instead of trying to focus what the consumer would like to wear tomorrow or next year, and when I say focus, is hopecast, you saw what happened, 30% is a waste. You actually produce only when you get the order. So if consumer is going anyhow into a website, into e-commerce and buying, and you can show them now any type of product and they can customize the product, but you don't need to carry it. And only when they're placing the order, then you produce it and you ship it to the consumer, this will create zero waste because you produce exactly what the consumer already ordered. And not only zero waste, if you produce it next to the consumer, close to, you don't need to ship it all the way 1,000 miles from China. You actually produce it, if you order it in London, you produce it in London, you ship it the same day or next day to the consumer. If you are in Beijing, you produce it in Beijing. So this is a totally different supply chain, a totally different way of production, much more sustainable, much more on demand, but another very important thing, and I believe it's the most important thing. What we are creating in this supply chain is we are unleashing the creativity. Because if you are not anymore bounded to the shelf size, if you are not anymore bounded to the production and trying to fit what the consumer will buy, you actually, if you are in a digital world, you can create any type of product, virtually, digitally. And then you produce it only when you're getting the order. So unleashing the creativity is very important, and I'll give you an example of a market that unleashed the creativity, and this is exactly what's happening now, and maybe then you will get it much better. Think about the book market. Book market 25 years ago, who created the revolution there? Amazon. What they did, they allow us, people, consumer, to go online and to buy books instead of going to a shop. And what is the benefit? The benefit was that if you go into a shop, you have only the key titles that was published the same year, and then you can go online and buy any title, any book, from 10 years ago, 100 years ago. Amazon didn't carry the book. They carried the digital file. And once you order it, then they produce it and ship it to you. But this is only the first impact. The second impact, which is the creativity, unleashing the creativity, it allowed everyone, us, the people, to become a writer. You don't need to publish any more 100,000 books to become a writer. Everybody can write a book about their trip, about cooking, about the family, publish it, and only if someone buying it, then it goes to production. So the same thing is happening now in the fashion industry. Think of the same trend, exactly the same thing has happened, and it happened in many other industries as well. So by that, what we are going to do, moving to on-demand, is actually what we going to have is unlimited virtual products. You can go online and you can choose any type of product, any type of color, any type of design, with no limitation. For retail, it's a flexible inventory. Why? You don't need to carry anymore in the back of the shop a big inventory of products. You actually can order for the next day. You see on the shelf that the shelf is going down on a specific product, then you're ordering it and receiving it the next day. So you're changing the retail business as well. And in-season reactivity, trends are changing. They are changing not in the season, they're changing by the hour, by the minute. And you can react fast and you can change the designs and get it the same day or next day. So I was talking about unleashing creativity, and this is, I think, the main thing that we are doing here. We are enabling really the connecting between the consumer to the creator, and we are in a creator community. Creators are not only the brands. We used to think that fashion connects to brands only, but to creators today are designers, of course, influencers. There are many marketplaces, which I'm going to talk in a minute, that are creating many, many types of products. And us, we are creators. We can create, we can go online, we can open a shop in 5 minutes in Shopify and start to sell what we have designed. And we don't need to invest anything. We invest only if someone is ordering the product and is being produced by Kornit X. And I'm going to talk about Kornit X in a minute. So Kornit is focusing on different markets in the fashion, both on the DTG, on apparel, both on streetwear, also on high fashion, haute couture, and even footwear. We're getting, of course, sports market. You will see here the DTF, that we're getting to the fashion and to the home decor, and you will see the new technologies that we're bringing. We just released the Max technologies that taking really the technology to a different level in terms of quality, in terms of application, in terms of range of media that you can print on directly without pre-treatment. The durability is excellent. The vibrance of the colors is perfect. Hand feel is much better than it used to be using pigment ink. So it's really taking the technology to a different level. And you will see the XDI, a totally different dimension that we are bringing to the market, building layers, like printing 3D on top of garment. And again, it's unleashing the creativities. Now, we will talk later on about Fashion Week, Kornit Fashion Week. I would like to show you a quick video from a designer that's talking about their experience of the Fashion Week that we have done in LA 3 months back. Let's look at it quickly, and we'll talk later on more about the Fashion Week, because we have a Fashion Week here in London that I would like everyone to be there.
I'm very inspired by dance and movement. So the very first designs I ever did were very full and had volume. And I designed things to be dancing. Everything has like a little shimmy to it. What Kornit does, and it's not just about the printing, which is what I love about them, it's more than that. They recommended fabrics to me. You got to test what works, what doesn't work. But when it was coming in and we got it right, oh my, I couldn't believe it. It's done in seconds. Done in seconds. I couldn't, honestly, I was so excited. This is 100% the future of my brand is print. I thought it was going to be so complicated. I thought it was going to be so difficult. I thought we were going to have huge minimums. I thought we were going to have all these problems. It's like, no, it's a few buttons and off you go, you're done. The quality, it was insane. It's really, really exciting. But that's the beauty of Kornit. It isn't just about prints. It's the whole story, which is what I fell in love with. They did an incredible job. The difference was insane.
Yeah, so it's best to hear from them. The designer knows how to sell the brand much better than me. So let's talk about Kornit. And what is Kornit? So you know, Kornit was focusing for many years on the production flow, developing technologies like systems, ink, a lot of chemistry, software to enable to do production in a digital way, to enable to release the creativity and to print whatever you want on demand. A few years ago, we started to move and we understood that we have a much bigger role to play. We need to change the industry. We need to change the industry to become more sustainable. We need to change the industry to move to on-demand. And therefore, we have to move much higher in the supply chain. We have to connect the world into this network of fulfillers that can do on-demand. And this is exactly what is Kornit. Kornit is about connecting e-commerce of any brands or any platform into a network of fulfillers around the world that can fulfill for you on demand. So if the consumer, the people, now is in London, and I'm ordering now online from Nike.com, it will be produced in London and shipped to me the same day or next day. This is the model that is Kornit X all about, and we are starting to have a great success working with many, many fashion brands, but also with marketplaces. And when I'm saying marketplaces, think about the opportunities of working with Netflix, working with Spotify. Who is using Spotify? I guess all of you was using Spotify. Think about you listening to a song in Spotify, and then there's pop-ups telling you, why don't you buy a T-shirt of this singer that you like? And you can customize it, and it will ship to you the same day or next day to your home. Think about a huge opportunity on this platform. Think about connecting in the sports teams to fans. Think about connecting corporation to their employees. There's so many opportunities in those platforms that Kornit X is the best fit, because those platforms, they don't know how to produce fashion. And they need the tool of someone producing for them on-demand fashion. But it's more than that. It's actually what we are creating with Kornit. We're enabling any creator, any influencer to open a website wherever they want, on Shopify, Amazon, and to show their creativity, and then if they're getting the order, producing it through Kornit. And our vision, if we are trying to summarize, is to create a better world. And you see the better world is in green, better world that is more sustainable. This is really a core vision where everybody can bond, connecting between brands and consumer, between creator and their people that would like to buy from them. Bonding is also bonding the ink to the fabric, bonding between people like us. Enable design, endless design, express their identities. This is what we are all about. And when we look at it in 2026, we put a very, very clear goal in front of us. Our customers in 2026 will produce something like 2.5 billion items. 2.5 billion items. If you convert those 2.5 billion items to the amount of water we are going to save the world, is like 4.3 trillion liters of water. This is what we are going to save by 2026. Now, what is this 4.3? Is like the entire population of the US drinking water for 11 years. So this is what we are doing as a first step to change this industry to a much better industry, to a much more sustainable industry. Now, if we look ahead, this industry is going even further. It's not only the e-commerce. We are talking now about the metaverse. And the metaverse, we see ourselves playing there a big role, because, you know, the forecast is that in 10 years from now, people will buy more clothes on the metaverse, in the digital world, versus the physical world. They are going to wear their avatars, meta-human. They are going to take them to the game, to Facebook, to anywhere. Our role as Kornit is to connect between the virtual world to the physical world. We will enable you, if you're buying something in the virtual, in the metaverse, than to produce it and get it in the physical world. And if you are buying something in the physical world, why don't you take it also to the virtual world and wear it on your meta-human in the virtual world? We are looking at NFTs. How can we help to connect a virtual NFTs to a physical NFTs that you know that this shirt that you wear is unique, is yours, and you buy it from a special designer, is one-off. So there's a huge amount of potential in the metaverse and changes that are coming to this industry. Last and definitely not least is Fashion Week. Kornit Fashion Week. And Kornit we started about a year ago running those alternative Fashion Week all around the world. I mentioned the LA, and in a minute you will see a video about LA. We've been in New York, we've been in Milan, we've been in Israel. This year, we've been in Japan as well. This year we are, next month, doing an event in Israel. We are going to be in Tel Aviv, Kornit Tel Aviv Fashion Week, and you're all invited as well. In May, we are going to be here in London and doing Kornit London Fashion Week. And what you're going to see here, and what you're going to see in Israel, few things, amazing things. First of all, everything is on demand. Those designers that are going to produce, to show their collection, they're getting only 1 month to prepare their collections before they're presenting it, the entire collection on the runway. 1 month, less than 1 month. So it's all on demand. Also, you will see endless creativity because every models that will be there, they will wear different clothes. There is no limitation. You can produce one-off. You don't need to produce the same design for the entire collection. Sustainability, it will be fully sustainable. So we're taking this message through this platform of the Alternative Fashion Week. But even more important, we are looking at the ESG part of this industry. In this industry, the way it runs the fashion show with those skinny young girls that are walking on the runway, this is not our style. This is not the world that we are living. We are living in a world of colors, different genders, different sizes, different ages. And you will see in the movie, in the clip that we've done in LA, you see ladies 83 years old walking, and she's beautiful. And you see big people, and they're beautiful. And everybody can express. You don't need to be ashamed of anything. And we need to change this industry also on the ESG side, not only on the sustainability portion of it. And we have the opportunity to do it now because the mindset is totally different. We are in a different world. And I would like to leave you with a short clip. It's not short, it's like 4 minutes clip out of LA, but it will give you the best taste of what we are doing. You will hear customers, you will hear designers, you will hear some brands talking about their experience there.
Let's design a new reality.
It is about stopping the craziness. Let me tell you what the craziness is. The craziness is thinking that today we can predict what consumers will want in 1 year. That is craziness. It's not possible. I don't think I can predict what consumers want next month. I know that there's some inspirational designers in this room that already understand this very well and are looking for supply chains that can actually make it happen. My appreciation to all of the Kornit team. You guys have been wonderful. But once we understood what was possible, there was no way we're not going to be part of it. We are excited to be part of this Kornit story. And I can tell you, I am really, really looking forward to understanding what extraordinary creative minds adding extraordinary new tools can achieve.
The consumer is the one who has the wallet. They will dictate how things will be done going forward. And the brands, retailers that do not change to that will die. And I'm using that word, die. They will go away.
What Kornit is enabling is connecting the virtual world with the physical world. And this is going to unleash really the creativity and the on-demand production.
It was absolutely phenomenal to set up a micro factory where we designed, developed, printed, cut, sewed, and gave it to people live.
Yes, we can give people everything they want. Style, quality, fit, color, comfort, hand, and, oh, by the way, sustainably made, ethical, fair trade, certified organic or biodynamic, biodegradable, recycled, circular, low impact dyed, digitally printed, and all that yummy stuff. Let's wear the change we all wish to see in the world.
We only succeed if we can create standards of interoperability and business agreements and ways to work together. We become stronger.
Great designers are designing beautiful products that people want to wear. And when you can do that one at a time, then you truly have the opportunity to create the sustainable, enduring product in people's wardrobes. And so I think that's why on-demand manufacturing is a win for sustainability.
Right. So when I went to the fashion show, I was able to attend the fashion show at 9:30 last night, which was incredible, by the way. I mean, so far beyond what I was envisioning in my mind. So congratulations to the Kornit team and everyone who put it together with customization, with using large-scale manufacturing like Bella Canvas has, where you lessen the waste because you have very strict processes and protocols. As an industry, we can make big changes, and I think we have a responsibility actually to do that.
To be able to see these amazing creations with the opportunity of a tool like the Kornit printer in a venue that's been offered to display them is just amazing. So thank you. It was incredible for me to see all this.
Kornit has quite a solution here, and with everybody here seeing all this, it gets everybody's gears going, and there's so many great things that can happen.
Can I be profitable for the designer? You can't look at costs, what the cost of the garment is cut and sew. We're going way beyond that. We're taking out all the headaches, all the things where things can go wrong, all the time, all the management, all the staffing. We alleviate it all, and then we have the solution right here. You know, it's absolutely 100% the way forward.
I think that there's been this rhetorical question about is on-demand or making one at a time scalable? And I can tell you from my experience, because we're doing it, absolutely it is.
All of the stuff that we've seen this week is beautiful, but we've been focused on helping designers figure out how to make it also producible in the right price point and turnaround times and easily replicable structures if you are going to produce it across a distributed network, and consistency and quality and color saturation and all the things.
I would love to partner with some people here that have those bigger roofs.
This is why we're doing what we're doing.
I think we'll all look back and go, yes, it was the Kornit show in LA that was the tipping point. So.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Good, I guess you're getting it, what we are doing. It's a really revolution, and we are going to change this industry for good. I would like to thank you. Before asking Jenny to take it from here and to present Fashion Enter and the amazing thing that we are doing here, I would like to apologize. I have to catch a flight this morning and I need to leave at 10. So I will be here with you till 10, but then I need to leave. So I apologize for that, and really appreciate that you're here, and thank you very much. Thank you. Jenny.
Thank you. Well, I think you can see by the presentations just from Ronen, it is an amazing transformation that is now taking place. And I just think traditional fashion is actually dead. And when I think back about the times when I was a selector at Marks and Spencer's and I was a senior buyer at the Arcadia Group, at any one time we were working on 3 different collections. We'd be looking at markdowns for the season before, we'd be looking at OTB, open to buy for the current season, and then we'd be looking ahead on trends. And when you think about all the money that is tied up in stock, when you think about all the discounting that has to take place, it doesn't work. It's a waste. And this is why constant stockpiling has occurred, and we have to look at waste and what we can do about reducing waste. It's just unsustainable. So just a little bit about Fashion Enter for those that don't know who we are. We were incorporated in 2006. It is a social enterprise, and it's a social enterprise for a reason, because we very much care about the values and giving people opportunities in life. We actually have grown tremendously, probably in the last 3 or 4 years more than ever. We started off whereby we had a small shop in Croydon. We begged a shop off a guy called David Parham, who was a secondary location, and we just started to trade, and we really wanted to support the young designers. And as time went on, people let you down, and so we've just expanded our services. So we are literally end-to-end. We can do design through to grading, through to the manufacture. And I do have to give a shout about skills. You know, it is the technology with Kornit absolutely blew me away when I was on a podcast with Scott Walton, and it is amazing what has been achieved, and there's more advancements to come. But without the stitchers, but without people who are going to be able to finish and understand what quality is and fit, then it goes hand in hand, and this is why the collaboration is so strong. So we've tried, I think because I had a buying background, we tried really, really hard to have deep foundations and made sure that everything we did was ethical. You know, we hemorrhaged money for the first few years. We didn't really know what we were doing, but we knew we wouldn't do it incorrectly. We knew we wouldn't actually subcontract or pay people incorrectly. So we do have a leading status in the fast forward audit, and for retailers that's very important because we've got complete transparency. And we can produce 30,000 garments a week. That is, we have 2 factories here, but we also have a factory in Wales. When we heard about the sad plight of Laura Ashley a couple of years ago, we decided that we had to do something about it. It's not every day you're going to come across 150 skilled machinists, and what a waste for those machinists to go and pack shelves at Sainsbury's, whatever they were going to do. So we opened up a factory. No business plan, no cash flows analysis, but it was just something that we felt very empowered to do. So we really want to be a centre of excellence in education as well as garment production. The education is very important to us because actually it gives people hope, it gives people a purpose, and our industry desperately needs to have more skilled people. 80% of our workforce next door is East European. And it's about time we really invested in those skills in the UK. So we have qualifications from level 1 through to level 5. We have various campuses. We've recently opened in Leicester. We had support from Leicester City Council and the government through the Community Renewal Fund, and we're working there on skills. Islington, we have a £10 million project with Islington Council where we have an underground car park and we support young designers. And we also have a retail shop there, so there's a circular economy for fashion. Okay, and there's some other projects we do for ERDF and the GLA and Tailoring Academy, and that's the Community Renewal Fund I was talking about. So for me personally, and the amazing team that we have, there's about 180 people now in the company, I couldn't find a better organisation to work with than Kornit. And I know you probably don't know me, and I don't want that to sound as though it's insincere, because it really isn't. Like, the machinery and the ethics and the people behind the brand, they are changing fashion. I mean, it's just awesome to think you can make on demand and turn everything around so quickly. We also have got a system called Galaxius. So there's lots of campaigns about who made your clothes. Well, we know who made what stitch on what garment and when they were paid. And that really helps us with our leading status in the fast forward audit. And actually, fashion has to be transparent. No, there's no point in having exploitation at any level. And by having the technologies combined with strong ethics, working with Kornit, our ethics and sustainability is completely aligned. And that print, as you can see, has been duplicated here. This is the first print that proved the concept works. This was a trial that we did with ASOS, and within 3 days, we had sold out of different sizes. Within a week, everything had been sold. And that garment was actually put into a dress as well, and exactly the same thing. So again, that proves the point about not having discounting. But I would say that to do that with having minimum waste, I think buyers have to change as well. The retailers have to start thinking about the exit margin rather than the intake margin. And I think that's quite a big step change. And knowing what I know about being a senior selector, you know, that chase for margin, you're driving the price down to the bottom of the glass, that's just got to stop. It's about the quality. It's about having that ethics that you can rely upon, and this throwaway culture, it's not going to work. So we believe it's D2C. So we will develop further. D2C is designed to consumer. At the moment, there's clogging within the retail, whereby garments are going into NDCs, national distribution centres. It's taking time for the garments to go online, being photographed. And actually, a lot of DCs are quite overstocked. So fulfill from here. You know, if we're making to demand, then we can fulfill from here too. So that lead time is being further reduced. And that's it, short and sweet. I think it's far more important that you meet the team, that you go and have a look now at the technology. Obviously here, any questions that you need answering. But please enjoy. And I believe Chris is now going to come and say hello. Thank you.
I don't have any slides, I don't think, no. And I can't even see it anyway with the light. I'll pop it there. Hi, everybody. I won't keep you for long because I know you're probably more interested in understanding a little bit more about what we're doing, but I did just want to take the opportunity to welcome you again and thank you for coming. So I'm Chris Govier. I've met a few of you before. I run the business for Europe, Middle East and Africa, based out of our European headquarters in Düsseldorf, although I'm not German, as you can hear. But I just wanted to kind of dovetail between the two elements of what you've just heard with Renan and obviously with Jenny. We have a very unique partnership with Fashionenta and with Jenny. She gives us a huge amount of credibility, I think, in terms of what we're trying to achieve from our side of things. But equally, I think we bring another part that's very important to her side of the business. So when you start to understand the whole cycle of the supply chain and you start to come together and address those things collectively, then you can really bring about profound change. And that's really fundamentally what we're looking to do with this partnership and with this centre and with our intentions, certainly in the UK and in the broader European region. The UK is a unique place. It's a unique fashion centre. It's always cutting edge and it's always driving forward. So that's one of the reasons why we are significantly investing in the UK. It's a big market for us in Kornit. We've seen very good growth here over the last several years. And this is the next stage of our investment. And our intentions to continue to change the environment, to change the industry, and to create opportunity, both from an employment perspective with working with Jenny, but also with change in how supply chains work and what we've seen in the last couple of years with the pandemic and the impact that's had on supply chain. I think it's now more than ever that we need to bring about some different change and some different ways of approaching things. So I'm not going to stand in your way too much longer. I'm going to hand you over to the team who are going to take you off and show you some of the technology and also the whole production capability from end to end. But I'll be around for any Q&As and any questions that you may have. So thanks again so much for coming. It's been great to see you. And I know that it was slightly easier on the public transport today than it was yesterday. So we're pleased that you were able to make it this morning. So thank you very much.
From here now, you're going to be taking on the Fashionenta factory tour. So you'll do that, then you'll come back to the tent for a little light refreshment before you then see the Atlas Max technology tour as well. than that, I think and I hope you've had a fantastic day. I would like to say a massive thank you to all the team that have put on the event for you today, and also the Fashion Enter team as well in there in the factory. I think what you've seen is something unique. And I don't just say that lightly. This is a first micro factory, live factory worldwide. So it is it's your unique environment. Don't understate that. So yeah, massive thanks to the guys. If you can give them a round of applause for me, because they've all worked very, very hard. I'm now going to hand over to Chris Govia, the EMEA President and MD of Kornit Digital, and also Jenny Holloway, the CEO of Fashion Enter, for some last words, and also if you've got any questions you want to ask as well. One mic that's going to go in the audience.
Okay.
Looks like we've got to stand close to each other,
Yeah.
Jenny. It's all right, you go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so really hope you've enjoyed the day, and obviously we're now here for you if you've got any questions that you'd like to answer, that you'd like us to answer.
While they're all thinking, I'll just say a quick hello, because I didn't get a chance to meet some of you earlier on, because I was involved in another meeting, unfortunately. So I'm Chris Govia. I look after Kornit for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Excuse me, I'm getting over COVID about 3 weeks ago, and it's left me with a bit of a cough. Aside from that, I feel great. So don't worry, I'm still negative. So look, I just wanted to kind of add my thanks and to my welcome and also wish you a safe journey home. But I hope that we've been thought-provoking a little bit for you this morning. It doesn't really matter what part of the business that you sit in, whether you're on the press side, whether you're on the production side, whether you're on the brand or the creative side, etc. I think there's something here which is, as Phil said, is very unique. Jenny has got an amazing setup. I think when you combine the sustainable technology that we bring and the business vision that Jenny has, and then ultimately the challenges that the market faces and the industry faces, there's some answers here. But it does require you to do something. And it probably requires you to ask some questions and to network with some people. And to understand how we can do things a bit differently. Because I think we actually, not just as people sitting in this room interested for a morning on a Friday in London, but as human beings, I think there is a significant amount that we have to do to effect some change that's needed. You look at the global footprint and the carbon situation and the emissions that go on from this industry. It's extremely wasteful. It's poor utilization of resources. And ultimately, it's the poor people in the world who end up paying the price for it too, either on the production side or on the wastage side. So we sit here quite comfortably. It's a bit cold in here, but that's because it's a working factory. But I think we have a responsibility, and I think we have, the reason you're here is perhaps because you think we have as well. So from my side, it's a bit bigger than just whether we can sell a few machines or whether we can make some clothing. I think there's a wider issue that we have to address, and I just want us to start to think a bit more about that. If we can do that, then we've had an effect today, and I'm very pleased that you've all come. So thank you. So we are open for questions. There is, I think it may be Prosecco, not champagne, but it's close enough. I know it's just over lunchtime, so those of you that observe after lunch is okay. So if there's any questions, feel free. We're here. We can ask them now, or you can come up and ask us with the rest of the team that's here. We'd be delighted to hear from you. Just even if your thoughts or comments, it would be great to hear from you. So feel free. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything more formal from that, unless there's a video that I've missed. We've shown you a few videos already today, but you've seen the live action, so that's great. So if you don't want to come and say hi, that's also okay. Have a safe journey home. If you want to have a glass, have a glass. If you're driving, please don't. We don't want that on our conscience, and we hope to look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great. So on the way back out, grab yourself a champagne and enjoy the lunch as well. Thank you very much. There is a giveaway. You've seen it on your back. Oh, great. Some of you have seen that already. Presto printed tote bag with an Atlas Max t-shirt in there. So enjoy. Thank you.
Everybody is wanting to know more. Everybody have said that they didn't realize quite the challenges that we were facing. And they admire the journey that we're on, and I guess because they're here, they also believe there's something that needs to be done. We have to challenge the industry. The industry needs to change, and only by bringing pressure from all aspects can we really make that change a reality.